for over 10 years in the old cemetery of the town. The job has never bothered me. On the contrary, I've always thought the dead are much quieter than the living. But what happened to me that afternoon changed everything. It was a cloudy day, the air heavy with that scent of damp earth that lingers after the rain. I had been assigned to dig a grave for a burial scheduled for the next day. As always, I worked in silence, focused on every shovelful. Suddenly, I heard footsteps approaching along the gravel path. I looked up and saw an old woman standing a few meters away from me. "Good afternoon, young man," she said in a calm voice. I took off my hat and greeted her back. "Good afternoon, ma'am. Do you need something?" She smiled. Her expression was calm and kind. She wore a long, slightly worn dress and a wool scarf covering her white hair. "I just came to see," she replied, her gaze fixed on the hole I was finishing. "Did you know the deceased?" I asked while I kept working. "Yes, in a way." I didn't think much of it. Many people visited the graves of friends or relatives before the burial. We talked for a while. She told me she had lived in that town her whole life, that cemeteries seemed to her beautiful places, full of peace. There was something in her voice, something that made me feel strangely comfortable, as if I were speaking with someone I had known all my life. Finally, she thanked me and said goodbye with a smile. I watched her walk away slowly along the path between the tombstones until the fog wrapped around her and she disappeared from my sight. That night, I slept peacefully. I had no idea what awaited me the next day. When I returned to the cemetery, I came upon something that froze my blood. The funeral procession arrived early. The family of the deceased was gathered around the hole I had dug myself. As always, I stayed off to the side, waiting to help with the burial. When they lowered the coffin, an inexplicable shiver ran through me. Something about the scene felt familiar. Then, someone removed the lid of the casket for the final farewell. My body froze, my breath caught. Inside the coffin was the old woman I had spoken with the day before. The same serene face, the same wrinkles, the same scarf covering her white hair. I wanted to step back, but my feet wouldn't respond. I looked at the mourners, searching for some explanation. I approached one of the people crying beside the casket and with great respect asked, "Excuse me, who was she?" "She passed away yesterday." The woman looked at me in confusion and replied, her voice breaking, "She was my grandmother. She died 2 days ago." My stomach churned. I felt cold, a cold that came from within. I had spoken with a dead woman. I had held a full conversation with someone who no longer existed. I couldn't